I knew this day would come, but I didn't think it was going to come this soon for a game like Palworld with that amount of success to fall subject to, oh, the game is dying, the game is dead, it's fallen off already. When we're talking about a game that had over a weekend had like what 5, 6, 7 million concurrent players, breaking damn near every Steam record in the book. Anything you can even think of, the record is broken by it. To now, it was, of course it could be a vocal minority, obviously. But for the game to be considered dead, dying, falling off, well, we're talking about on TikTok, we're talking about on Twitter, we're talking about in articles that's saying the game has fallen off. When to me, if you ask me, it's just stabilizing. Because there's no way a game that has, let's say, comes out and has 1 million concurrent players is going to keep those same players through its entire life cycle. It's going to drop. Whether it drops down to 700K, 500K, even 200K, it's going to drop. And I took the same question to TikTok. I asked a lot of y'all. Y'all give a lot of good feedback. I'm going to go through some of the points y'all gave for y'all's definition on TikTok, at least when it comes to a dying game, a dead game. One of them was when a game stops getting updates, right? So when the developers stop updating games, they stop giving quality of life changes. They kind of keep it how it is, and they either move on to another project or they move on to another game and kind of like forget about that past game. That's when the game is considered dead. Another one is when only the hardcore fan base is still playing the game. So there's not really a lot of new people coming in. There's not a lot of like newbies, it's just only the hardcore people, the people who probably like take this shit way too seriously, are probably like, trying to go pro at it still or whatever the fuck. Only those people are playing the game. And I think the main one was when you can't find a queue time anymore, right? So like you get into the game, and that's probably mainly for more multiplayer games, obviously, but like you get into the game, you're waiting for like 10, 15, 20 minutes just to find one game. There might be like 50 concurrent players. That game is probably dead. You know what I'm saying? And for me, a good example of that, a game like that is probably going to be Titanfall 2. And don't come at me, I love Titanfall 2. I've been wanting for a Titanfall 3 for a very long time. I don't know if we're ever going to get a game like that, but Titanfall 2 was my shit. Great FPS. I loved all the Titan play. I loved the gameplay loop. I loved the competitiveness. I loved everything about it. But to me, that game is dead. Not only does it, I think it doesn't have a huge hacker problem, but there's not a lot of people playing that game anymore. I think it's like it maybe like in the thousands or some shit like that. Last time I was playing, I could barely find a match, and if maybe ever like every 10 to 15 minutes or some shit like that. And for sure, the developers are not updating that game anymore. They've all moved on. Like Respawn, EA have all moved on to Apex. They grab a lot of stuff that is put into Apex from Titanfall 2, if anything. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that is definitely a dead game. It's a very good game, like when it was in its peak and stuff like that, but it's definitely a very dead game. So I think that fits all the criteria, right? Queue times are long, no development, no updates, no quality of life changes, nothing like that. And it's only the hardcore fan base. Like if you're still playing Titanfall 2, you are a hardcore fan. And I commend you because it's a fire ass game. But if we're talking about a dead game, yeah. So by that criteria, I feel like yes, but comparing that criteria to a Palworld or even a game like The Finals or even a game like Lethal Company and even like this new game Helldivers 2 that just came out, everyone's playing Helldivers 2. I promise you, give it maybe a week and a half, they're gonna be saying the same shit. Even though right now it's like being very hyper fixated on, people are saying like it's bringing them back to their childhood, it's very nostalgic. Give it 2 weeks, they're gonna be doing the same shit again. And you can of course attribute this to like maybe this short attention span for a lot of us, where like we're just trying to jump from, and then not only just for video games, whether it be from movies, TV shows, like people are kind of just looking for the next thing to kind of like keep their attention, the next thing to kind of like stimulate their brains, right? So just jumping from one game to one game to one game. Right now it'll be Helldivers 2, maybe, and then when FF7 comes out, it'll be FF7. I swear, like they're even for P3, for Persona 3 Reload, people are saying that game is trash. I understand, like maybe like it's for a different reason, because they're saying like they don't like the gameplay loop when it comes to Tartarus and stuff like that. But even like I thought people were like, oh yeah, like when the game came out, I was like, oh yeah, this is so fire. I'm so glad they made this game. People have been waiting for P3. Now like a week later, they're saying that shit's ass, and they can't wait for FF7. Like what's happening? So I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like this whole thing is kind of really, really dumb. I was really wanted to come out here and ask y'all like what is y'all's definition of it. Like I gave me an example as well. I gave y'all my example with TF2. I don't know. I think like my final thing on this is like I wish people would stop this using that terminology and just kind of spreading around this all willy-nilly all over the place. Like, oh, this game is dead. This game is falling off. This game was never put on. Like games have a cycle of they hit a peak and they kind of dip a little. They might, you know, kind of research a little bit. Like for example, like Fortnite, right? Fortnite's not a dead game, but like when they brought back OG Fortnite, like a lot of the old people came back with the new things like that, where games will like would kind of like resurge and hit like another peak again, and then kind of like dip back down. You know what I'm saying? Every game goes throughout it. Even if a game does start off very, very high and it never even reaches a peak like that ever again, that's fine. Every game goes throughout it. Like, I don't understand where like they expect that a game like Palworld to just keep all the time, keep a million players playing. That's not even, it's a beta at the end of the day as well. It's a beta, an alpha, whatever. It's not even a fully finished fledged game. We're looking at a beta. So it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if we have to start being a little bit more lenient, start being a little bit more like kind of slow and like not being so quick to just jump from one thing to another. I don't know what needs to happen, but like, it's just very annoying to just be hearing that word just thrown around. And even me, I'd be subject to it too. I'd be so quick to like, oh, that game is dead, no one's playing it anymore. I was like, bro, that's not what the case is. And like, just saying like, just because I'm not playing it or my friends are not playing it or whatever, or maybe I never even tried the game and I'm not seeing it anymore on my algorithms when it comes to TikTok or YouTube Shorts or whatever, it doesn't mean the game is dead all of a sudden. People are still playing these games. Even my homie Mikey, shout out to Mikey, Holy Father Michael. He just started playing Power. He can't put that shit down. He plays that shit like 12 hours a day. He going crazy. So it's like people are finding these games every single day and they're still trying out for the first time. Like, unless you're a game like I said, like a Titanfall 2 type of game where like you're just having nothing going on, like no updates, no new players, nothing. That's a dead game, and it's an old game too. I mean, it makes sense. Titanfall 2 came out like what, like maybe 2016, 2017. It's been years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm hearing people saying stuff like, oh, Overwatch is a dead game. Apex is a dead game. When they have a whole competitive pro scene, how is it a dead game? Yes, maybe you don't like Overwatch 2 compared to Overwatch 1. Or like maybe you don't like the season 20 of Apex that just came out compared to when it was like season 1 through 4. That's understandable. That's valid. But to say for what it is, like, oh man, I missed it back in the old days, like, you know, due to my nostalgia and stuff like that. I'm not saying the game is fucking dead. Like, come on, that doesn't even make sense. How is Palworld dead when it's only been out for a month and a half? I don't know. Y'all let me know down below. Give me your definition. Give me your example. I love you so much. Thank you for all the support. Y'all been showing mad love to the boy, and I cannot stress that enough. We're about to hit, I think, 350. We're like 4 away or something like that. Thank y'all. Thank you for all the support on like I said, I posted this video, not this video, but I posted like the same question on TikTok. Thank you for the support on TikTok. Thank you for the support on Twitch. Thank you for the support on the second channel. I really do appreciate it. Y'all be showing mad love. More videos to come very, very soon. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, love y'all. Peace.